Alright, so today we'll be creating a Hello World application. We'll go ahead and open up Eclipse. Once Eclipse is opened up, we can go ahead and click on File at the top. And we're going to hover over New. Now you may see Java Project in this menu here. If you do, you can go ahead and click that. If you don't, you can go ahead and click Project. Once this window opens up, you can expand Java and click Java Project. Click Next. And we could go ahead and call this project Hello World. And we could go ahead and click Finish. We don't need any modules, so we'll click Don't Create. And we'll go ahead and click No here. Now over here in this Project Explorer pane, we can go ahead and right click on Hello World and we'll hover over New and we will click Class. We'll go ahead and call this class Hello World as well. You could call this class whatever you like. For the purpose of this video, we'll go ahead and call it Hello World. And we will go ahead and click this checkbox here, Public Static Void Main. And we'll click Finish. That's going to go ahead and create a class for us, Hello World class. Now notice that by clicking that checkbox, what it did was it put this code in here for us, this Public Static Void Main. If we didn't check that box, it would have just given us a blank class skeleton. But since we need that main function in order for our project to run, we'll go ahead and put it back in here. The next line we're going to type here will be a comment. All comments are preceded by 2 backslashes. Anything that follows the backslashes, as long as it's on the same line, will be regarded as a comment, meaning it will be ignored by the compiler. Comments are generally used for documentation purposes. Whether you're handing this code off to somebody else to use, or you plan on keeping this code for yourself and maybe editing it in the future, comments are what is going to help you keep track of what's going on inside of your code. The next line that we're going to type here will be our first real Java statement. We'll go ahead and put system with a capital S .out.println, parentheses, quotation marks, and inside of the quotation marks we'll go ahead and type Hello World. Now this is a print line statement. We'll go ahead and end it with a semicolon. Now what this is going to do is print the words Hello World, or I should say the string Hello World, into the console at the bottom of the screen here. We'll go ahead and change this comment up a little bit so it gives more detail as to what the following code actually does. And we'll go ahead and put prints the string Hello World in the console. We'll go ahead and type out another print line statement, and this statement will print out more text to the console. Notice I'm ending all these statements with a semicolon, and we'll go ahead and add some extra characters to the end of this here, just so you can see that it will still be printed out. Now notice this next statement here is a little bit different than the previous two. Instead of putting system.out.println, we're just going to put system.out.print, and then we'll add the parentheses with our string of text. Inside the string of text, we'll go ahead and put this string uses print, not println. And once it prints out into the console, we'll go ahead and see what that does exactly. And we'll go ahead and end it with one more print line statement. We can go ahead and go up top to this run button here, screen circle with the white triangle inside of it. When we click that, we'll get this window here, save and launch. You want to make sure that this hello world.java is checked, and then you can go ahead and click OK. That's going to run our program. As you can see, we have some text now down here in this console window. Notice that the first line that we put, the comment here, nothing happened. We didn't get any output from that code there. The next line of code, system.out.println, hello world. It's going to be the first string of text that you see here in the console window. Similar to the next line. And this next line here is where we switch things up a bit. We used print instead of print line. Now what that did is it printed out the string of text inside of the quotation marks there, but it did not go to a new line once that statement was finished. That's the difference between print and print line. If you use print line, once the string inside of the parentheses is printed out into the console, it's going to go onto a new line. By using just print, it will not do that. It will print the string of text and it will stay on the same line and continue with the next line of code. So what we can go ahead and do is change this print statement to a print line statement. So we can see that by changing that, now every string of text that is included in these individual statements will have their own individual lines. We'll go ahead and run that again. And as you can see, they all have their own individual lines. And one last thing here. Notice that if we write a system.out.println statement with just empty parentheses, and we go ahead and run this program here, what we get is an empty line in between the two statements that are before and after it. We can go ahead and put one of these statements in between each line that we created. And you'll see that we get something that looks similar to a double space. And that is it. It's a bit of a modified version of a Hello World application to show you the basics of printing out strings of text into the console.